You are now listening to a brand new episode of Starfleet Escape Podcast, only on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, also known as the
Starfleet Escape Podcast. Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome to the Starfleet Escape Podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where we escape into the Star Trek universe. This is episode number 29 and is being recorded on September 19th, 2013. Today's topic, the 47s. I'm Marty.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Eric. This episode is brought to you by America Joy Print Shop, official sponsor of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. For high-quality business cards, flyers, banners, cut vinyl, and more, visit americajoy.com.
So how's it going this week, guys?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
week.
Yeah,
It is a week.
These days end in Y.
Yes. It's, just keep on trekking on.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on trekking to the weekend.
Yeah, everybody
Exactly.
knows if you got to work, it's quite a tough time.
Marty,
gotta
you
work.
are so tired that you can't even finish that sentence.
Yeah, I couldn't, I just got out of work. How long you guys been out of work for today?
I've been out of work for 2.5 hours now.
Aaron?
I've been out of work since 6 o'clock, so about the same, 2.5 hours.
And I've been out of work for
37 years.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Boy, you don't even have that chance to, unwind.
No. My unwinding was sitting down on the couch for 2 minutes and,
Then talking with us.
yes.
And now you're with us. So
So
your
much
night just
better.
your night just got exciting.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So into the news.
The news.
The news you can use.
NASA's plutonium-powered Voyager 1 probe, launched in 1977, has gained the distinction of becoming the first man-made object to exit the solar system.
It will also become the first man-made object to be assimilated by the Borg and returned to us.
Well,
Or
that's
be
never
destroyed by
been-
Klingons.
That's never really been. Well, yeah, that's another funny thing. Was that the Voyager that they showed in that movie?
In 5?
Five?
I think it was.
How could it be? In 1, it came back to Earth.
No, it was a different Voyager.
It was a different
Oh,
Voyager.
that's Voyager 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
They all look
It's a
the same.
Voyager that was
Wait a
never
minute.
actually launched.
Hey, they all look the same.
I suppose they do. So
But
that's
it got
pretty
out
cool.
It got out outside of the solar system.
Yep, only took how long? It exited
bajillion
sometime
years.
last. Yeah,
What year
it
is it?
exited sometime last year.
Aaron,
What's that?
it's a year older than I am.
Oh my God, that's
36 years to get outside the solar system.
So if we launch you now out into space, you'll eventually get out there.
Yeah, when I'm 35 and 36 would be 60, 71.
And you would
I'd
have
probably be
exited
dead
the solar
already,
system.
though, because if you shot me into space,
Probably.
I'd die.
Yeah,
Well, that's why we'd put you into one of our escape pods.
Okay.
yeah, that's true. We'll give
You
you
gotta
some
think.
beans.
Beans, that's good. Yeah, and burritos.
But
So-
I think it's pretty cool.
That is
Like,
pretty
It
cool.
is cool.
And considering
And-
NASA has had really no real big things lately because the budget was cut so badly, and there's no shuttle anymore.
Plus, it's still transmitting.
Mm-hmm.
So if it encounters anything weird out there, we'll be the first to know about it.
It has a message in it, right?
It'll take like a year to get to us.
It has a message, though, right?
Like then it'll be too late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Does it really
the
take a
announcement
year?
gets to us. Yeah, the announcement gets to us, and they're right above us.
It does take some time because the probe actually left the solar system sometime last year, and I think we just found out about it left. So
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so,
just
so you're
delay.
right. If the invasion force is already coming, it'll be too
Yeah.
late.
hmm
It's damn
so that's
Klingons.
awesome. It'll probably come in from a different angle anyway, and Voyager won't even see it.
Yeah, but like I said, NASA hasn't had very much big stories lately, so very
Well,
many.
We had some interesting missions to the moon.
We
We
did.
shot a probe into it.
Yeah, that was
Huh.
look for
Water.
water, yeah. And they found it.
Yes, they
So,
did.
awesome. Now we can go to the moon.
Unfortunately, it was a glass of water that was inside of the probe that they sent them. But,
No, it wasn't.
It's a conspiracy.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
scared.
Never been to the moon. No,
Oh man, don't get
don't
started
even
on that.
stop that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Actually,
is
That's
going on?
for another podcast, not
Yeah.
on this network.
Yeah.
Never.
Never. There's one online that believes there's a society on the moon, and that Obama sent that probe up there to retaliate against them.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you believe that one? Yeah. Uh huh.
No. Then everyone can watch the horrible movie,
Apollo 18?
Iron Sky.
Oh, I thought you meant Apollo 18.
Or that.
I haven't
Although
seen that,
Apollo
but it's on Netflix now.
It was actually interesting, and it was well done, I think.
Oh, it's on Netflix? Because I've been
Yeah.
meaning to watch that.
It's
but
on
not-
Netflix now, yeah.
But not Iron Sky.
Iron Sky is still on Netflix.
Yeah, it's
Is it?
still on Netflix.
I haven't
yeah.
seen it yet.
Yeah, no, it's on
It's
Netflix.
about Nazis.
Nazis that
have been
went there
on-
after World War II and decided they'd attack us now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's hilariously bad,
Yeah,
but the effects are like freaking amazing. For
yeah,
this.
the effects are awesome.
This is like a Z-rated film, and and the effects are like amazing.
I heard about that movie years ago, and I saw some of the effects in the trailer for it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a legitimate, like,
Movie?
sci-fi movie, and
Yeah.
not like...
A political commentary, weird,
Sharknado?
badly acted movie.
Yeah, right,
You mean
exactly.
Sharknado?
I think it was better than Sharknado. I've
Less
never...
believable, but yeah. I think I could be hit by a shark.
I think anything. Tornado.
Yeah.
But moving on to the rest of our news here. Stern Pinball has announced a brand new Star Trek pinball machine, which puts the players up against the Vengeance and the Narada.
Both together?
Mm-hmm.
You have no chance.
So that's cool.
It looks amazing.
It
Does it?
does. And
Hey,
there's
here's
like,
a question. Who do you think would win, the Narada or the Vengeance?
The Vengeance.
Question.
The
5
Vengeance,
pounds
if
long,
the Vengeance, if it had a full crew and Scotty not sabotaging it.
But the whole point is it doesn't need a full crew.
But
Yeah.
if it did, it could work even better.
Against a 5-mile ship?
The Vengeance was freaking like a mile long, anyways.
that's true.
I don't know. I think it would.
I don't think RoboCop could beat him.
Well, it's okay, because Khan would be commanding, so it's fine.
Oh, great. 300-year-old man. Anyways.
So it's cool. It has like LED lights and stuff like that. But yeah, the last pinball game I ever did was like a next gen one.
I haven't played a pinball machine in a long time.
I've never played a Star Trek pinball game.
Really?
Yeah.
I played a next gen one years ago.
I played one up in New Hampshire, the next gen one, too, so.
So, Star Trek Into Darkness was released on Blu-ray, 3D, Blu-ray, DVD, and on demand on September 10th.
I'm waiting for the Betamax version.
But I already got it and watched it 3 weeks ago when it was on digital download.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
I
was
actually
gonna-
bought it from Amazon.
Aren't you the
Okay.
shiznit?
I am the shiznit.
Have you bought the physical media yet?
No, but I was in Walmart the other day, and they have this exclusive pack with a Hot Wheels Vengeance
Mm-hmm.
and a tin with
Yes.
Khan on it, and it looks amazing, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should get this. Because the Hot Wheels Vengeance model looked sweet.
It does look
It was
pretty
pretty
cool.
big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was. I saw the packaging and stuff. It looks pretty cool. There's also another package that has the phaser from Star Trek.
Really?
You know what a lot of fans are mad about, though?
What?
That the exclusive features have been spread out against different retailers.
Yes,
Right.
instead of all of them.
And I think that's horrible.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
why I am not buying a physical copy until they release some epic special edition that has everything on it. Otherwise, leave me alone, because I think that's BS. I hate it when companies pull that crap.
Yeah.
And Aaron, you bought it too, right?
I did buy it. Yes.
Because, I mean, it's Blu-ray. It's supposed to be able to fit all these features and more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with having the same disc, but have the physical attachment, like whether it's the phaser or the Hot Wheels ship.
Mm-hmm.
I want those to be the exclusives for the retailers, not the actual content of the disc itself. I think that's insane. So, as a DVD collector and a Star Trek fan, I won't be buying this.
Yeah, because I don't want to buy 5 different versions.
Right.
I already went through that with Nemesis when the first DVD came out, and then they came out with the 2-disc collector's edition that fit with all the other collector edition DVDs.
Really?
So I bought that movie twice.
See, I didn't know they came out twice.
Yeah.
I didn't buy Nemesis.
I had to have all the movies. So.
I do too. That's why I figured I had to buy. I had to buy Into Darkness. I do have 5 as well. Yeah. Star Trek 5.
You know what I'll do? I'll wait until they release the 3rd movie and then come out with an epic trilogy.
They'll
box
do that.
set.
Yeah, you know they're going to do that.
So I'll wait for that.
That's true. Good point.
When it's in blue holographic technology in the future.
Oh, good lord.
Well, they have 3D Blu-ray right now.
No,
I love that. No.
They'll probably come out with some technology in like
4D
4 years,
Blu-ray.
and it's like, whoa, it's like in your face.
Actually touches you.
It's like I'm in the movie.
I just got phaser burn.
Kind of like how Kirk was zooming into Khan in the conference scene.
Right.
And he was like zooming the camera all around.
Yeah,
I think
love
movies
that.
will get to that point.
But that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was watching a YouTube video that complained about that.
Yeah.
Because there would have to be cameras everywhere in order to be able to get all those different angles and stuff.
Actually, you wouldn't. Here's the thing. Computers can become smart enough that it could materialize what the other views would be.
We could extrapolate what it would be.
Exactly.
And
that's how you do 3D modeling.
It's not how I do 3D modeling.
Sure.
Well, kind of funny, though, because London is one of the most videotaped surveillance countries. So I thought it was kind of Star Trek's way of kind of making fun of that. Because there were so many cameras that they could do that effect.
You remember they did that about 10 years ago in the Super Bowl? It was the newest thing, and they had that ability to do the 360 turnaround when they would do, like, shots of the replay. And they would halfway through, it would spin around, and they'd get it from another angle. That's what that reminded me of. But the NFL said at the time it was so cost prohibitive. Because in order to render that information that fast, like almost on the fly, they had to have such large computing ability. So,
well, if that was 10 years ago, I'm sure that.
But they don't use it anymore.
Maybe they should. So yeah, Star Trek Into Darkness. Get it, I guess, unless you want all of these special features.
Then don't get it.
I say if you want to watch the movie, but
buy the single disc,
or just get the digital download. If you just want the movie and wait for the special features.
How much did you pay for the digital download?
I got the standard definition, and it was $15, but through Amazon. But even though it said standard edition, it looked amazing playing on my Xbox. So it looked really good, anyways.
Okay.
Aaron, have you watched it?
I've watched about half of it, but the copy, what I watched, even though my copy came with a digital download, I ripped it onto my computer, so I would have a MP4 version.
Yeah.
So I could stream using the Chromecast by playing the MP4 version in my browser window.
See, here's the funny part, Aaron. They already created a thing called a DVD player that's hooked up to your TV that you could put that in.
But it's the 21st century. and I
All right,
want
do
to
you
stream
understand
it.
what I'm saying about this?
I want
Well,
to stream it.
when he bought that Streamcast thing, I was like, I can do all that, and it's called an Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
I can stream
I can
Netflix
do
and
it too.
Hulu.
It's called VGA cable hooked up to the back of my computer, my TV.
Okay, so I also have an Xbox and a PlayStation, but they're in
And
the
the
living
Wii.
room. Yeah, and the Wii. But they're in the living room,
Yeah.
and I want to stream it into my bedroom.
So
So that's why I have the Chromecast in the bedroom to stream.
okay, I understand that now, but there is no DVD player in that room.
I do have a Blu-ray player, but it's not hooked up currently, but it is there.
It makes a good doorstop, though.
Oh, wait, actually, no. I'm using the HDMI cable for that Blu-ray player in the living room for the Xbox.
Aaron, they have a thing called a store. You go out and buy another HDMI cable. I don't know if this is.
But the Chromecast was only $35.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you can get an HDMI cable for like $3.
$3, yeah.
But it's not as awesome.
It is awesome.
No, because there's probably delays sometimes, too, because it's...
Oh, one cool thing, though.
Yeah.
You can play Hulu in a Chrome tab and stream it to your TV without having Hulu Plus.
Really?
For now. Until Hulu Plus figures out how to block it.
Don't let them know.
Or I can just turn on my Xbox.
Yeah,
and
But you
play
need
Hulu.
Hulu Plus.
I already have it.
I know, but
Oh, you need that for Xbox?
you do. You need Hulu Plus. But let's say you didn't have Hulu Plus. I could stream
Then
content.
what's wrong with you? That's what I would say.
I don't know.
Aaron?
Man, this took a turn.
Okay, so let's keep on the news, because
Uh,
no news is good news.
So Patrick Stewart has
So,
married
hey,
Jazz.
hey.
What?
Read that copy the right way.
Sir.
Oh,
Patrick
Sir,
Stewart.
mister.
sorry.
Sir.
Sir Patrick Stewart has married jazz singer Sonny Orzel in a ceremony conducted by Sir Ian McKellen on September 8th.
So Magneto
No.
married off Professor Xavier.
hmm
That's epic.
On the anniversary of Star Trek.
Could you see if they got Ian McKellen into Star Trek somehow? That would be interesting.
Oh,
He'd
he
be
would
good.
be an amazing
Yeah.
actor for Star Trek.
hmm
How old is Sir Patrick Stewart's wife? Isn't she like 29?
Okay, no, he is 73 and she is 35.
My man.
That is over half of his age.
Yeah. When
Well, as long as
when,
they're happy.
when he was actually in college, she wasn't born yet. When he was doing
When he was doing
Star Trek: The Next Generation, she was in 5th grade,
That's disturbing.
and at the
Oh,
same
wow.
time,
Wow.
and at the same time, my man.
Do you think she was a fan of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
I think she was actually a fan of his epididymis, but that's okay.
What?
That's a reference to Ghostbusters, just to let you know.
So, I don't know if you guys seen this next piece on the news here, but to advertise the ability of Star Trek Into Darkness, a British mall set up a transporter. And
What?
it was organized by movie streaming service Bling Blocks. The gag utilized several sets of twins in a large chamber that acts like the toy transporter from the Next Generation.
Oh, yeah.
From Playmates?
From
You
Playmates.
had that, didn't you?
I do have it.
Yeah, you do have it.
I do. I still have it.
He was playing with it just a little while ago.
It's in my closet. But, so this was, if you watched this YouTube video, which
No.
is in the show notes, it's hysterical.
I'm actually kind of watching it right now.
Yeah.
Does it look good?
It looks... I haven't got to the actual transporter part yet.
It looks funny. It's funny because people in the audience didn't realize that it was, sets of twins. So one twin would go into the transporter. They would activate the transporter.
They call it a teleporter, though.
It doesn't matter. Same thing. So they turn it on, and they disappear. And then somewhere else comes the other twin, being like, "Oh man, I was just transported."
Do not enter transporter area.
I just saw this. This is amazing.
Yeah,
This is pretty funny.
it is. It's hysterical. I don't know if you guys have ever go onto the website called Geekology.com.
Yeah, I've been there before.
I found this on that website, and they always post awesome, funny, geeky things. So I picked up a couple of things for the show by visiting that website.
Wow, that's awesome.
Pretty cool. I wish they did that here.
I know. Why does everything have to be in England?
I noticed that England got a lot of Star Trek Into Darkness promotions.
Yep.
There was that
Yeah.
skylight thing. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's in England, though. That's why.
yeah, but still, throw America a bone.
Yeah. Come
come
on.
to the major cities like Chicago and Boston and where we're at.
No, they'll go to L.A. and New York.
Well, we're close
How it
enough
always
to
is.
New York, I guess.
I just can't believe how awesome this is.
It's really cool. You guys should definitely watch this video.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes, everyone, so head over to the website. If you're listening to this through some other service other than our website, go to sfescapepod.com and look at our show notes, and you'll be able to find it there. So next in our news,
I love this one.
I saw this. This was epic.
a Star Trek-inspired command center was used by NSA Chief Keith Alexander. And I was reading the article, and I guess everyone that came in wanted to sit in the chair and pretend to be Captain Picard.
It even made the doors make the whoosh sound.
Yeah. Tax dollars at work.
Oh my god.
Hey, it looked very functional, and
Oh, well, yeah.
this isn't the first time that the government has been inspired by the Bridge of the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been talks, the Department of Defense has done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Other government agencies have done this. So it's just a very functional layout.
Right. I don't know about that whoosh sound, but everything else, I
You
can buy.
remember what they explained in Airplane 2, right? You just make the noise and it does it?
Yeah, oh my god. Me and my dad would always joke about that. When we first saw Airplane,
Yeah.
and then whenever we'd enter a room, we'd go, psst.
My father and I
And
would
we
do
just-
that too.
And we'd just crack up. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
I totally want the whoosh sound. I want the whoosh sound in my apartment every time I open the door.
I've been very tempted to get that, the TOS wall-mounted sensor thingy.
Oh
Calm
yes.
It probably doesn't make a whoosh sound.
No.
I have to check on that, actually. Maybe it does. That would be awesome. I'd get it just for that and put it on my door.
You see this? They also put a huge TV to make the view screen on the front of the wall.
I did see that. It looked awesome.
I want to work for the NSA now.
So if any NSA agents are listening, if you could just recruit us, that would be great.
Yeah, just so we have to work in that room, though. That's the only stipulation.
Oh yeah.
Now, you saw the thing that's right under that, right? Right under that story? News, J.J. Abrams not directing next Star Trek film?
Well, we kind of knew that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's kind of weird that they put it right there. The NSA, by the way, spend a lot of money, but J.J. isn't directing this film.
Well, is that on a related story? Is that what that is?
No, it's like right underneath it. It's right there in the thing. It says news, like in the middle of the story.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just
It's a
that's
teaser.
just related news. That's why that's.
But
in
I find
there.
it funny that they put it in the middle of the story.
Well, because a lot of people, once they hit the end of the story, will probably stop scrolling down
Yep.
to see other stuff. So that they just want you to go to another article, so they get another hit on another one of their pages. That's all that is. So that's it for the news. Moving on to, would you buy it?
And I would. This one I definitely would.
I would buy this.
I would not. So this is the Femme Fatales?
Femme fatale.
Femme fatales.
Star Trek.
Fatales?
I can't read.
We've established this. He's a yuppie.
Yuppie. None of those
Yuppie, can't
educated
read.
yuppies can read.
Star Trek 7 of 9 PVC statue, which runs for $45 and stands 9 inches tall,
Mhm.
and comes in a package that you can see through to see Son of Nine.
How do they
if
need
you
that?
don't want to
No,
take her out of the package.
Oh, I'll take her
in
out
case
of
you
the
want to keep her
packaging.
clean. I mean,
what?
So yeah, she's wearing the silver cat suit.
which she always wore. Yep.
Well, she wore other
A little
colors.
different, yeah. But,
This was her first catsuit,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and the hottest.
Yeah.
because it had the ribs too.
For her pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
No wonder they want you to keep it in the box.
Yeah. So it
And no
looks like
wonder two of us want this so badly.
and it comes. It looks like it comes with a stand here. It looks like a little alcove.
Eric,
Borg alcove.
remember how I've always said that Voyager, there's nothing worthwhile in it?
Many times, Marty. It's
there's one thing.
exhausting.
There's
really.
one thing.
Oh, the one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Anyways.
You did like Kess though, didn't you?
She was alright.
I want a Kess doll.
I'm sure you do. Is
Yeah,
that
why
blow-up
don't they make
or-
a femme fatale's Kess?
She
But-
really isn't a
cute.
femme
I want to see the
fatale, though.
ears. The later season, when they grow her hair to
Yeah.
cover her ears to save on the makeup,
Yeah.
I thought that was such a cop out. But anyway,
Well, one thing
I
you
did
just said
like her
you
with
want
the long
doll.
hair.
Do you want the blow-up one or the?
Whoa.
Well, he said he wanted the doll.
the action figurine.
Oh, actually,
The PVC statue?
the 9-inch one.
This isn't a figure. I mean, it's not like something you can move around.
Oh, that's lame. I want something I can move.
Uh-huh. Anyways, so how much is it, Aaron?
It is $45,
Well worth it.
and you can find it at different comic book shops.
Yeah.
Will be selling this.
Do you think they'll have others in the series?
Yeah,
Who do you think?
Actually,
next?
this-
Who would you think is next?
I don't know, but I know there are others in the series.
Actually, this would look really good next to my first contact Picard statue.
Yeah.
It's also like 9 inches tall.
See, and that's the whole thing about Picard. He's still trying to go after people who are half their age. Never mind.
Okay. I don't think he would go after 7 and 9.
I don't know. He still has a lot of those ports still in his body.
Some of those ports.
Yeah, he's still partially Borg. Isn't he?
We're getting into some weird territory here. Some of those ports.
They're compatible with her Borg ports. I mean,
Oh my god.
his male parts can go into her female parts. I mean,
Okay, you've taken it too far.
all right.
Okay. Or
So,
ports.
Okay.
yeah, so moving on to the topic here, the 47s.
Woohoo! I've been waiting for this topic for a long time.
So, to start off our discussion here, it is the 47th anniversary of Star Trek this year. It just passed on September 8th.
Our condolences.
So this anniversary is a little bit more special than the rest because of the fact the number 47 appears numerous times in Star Trek: The Next Generation and subsequent series.
Now, before we start in this, Aaron, remember what I reminded you of the last week about this?
I don't know what.
Didn't the number 47 end up in like phone numbers and other things
yeah.
that we had a bunch of times?
That's true. One of my first cell phone numbers, I won't give the first 3 digits, but the last...
You don't have it anymore.
I don't have it. Well, I guess I'll just say it then. It was 617-407-7147.
And the funny
Wow.
part to that is when Aaron and I worked together at the Action Center in Southie, our extension was 147.
My social security number, which I will not say,
Oh, come on, you don't need
there.
it.
Yeah, do not say it.
but it has the number 47 in it together.
Yeah, so it's weird. I don't know if 4 and 7 we just notice more compared to other numbers, or if there's really a lot of
Kind of
repetition.
Well, there is Well, I mean, we'll talk about it later,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why 47 appears so much in Star Trek, but I think there is a valid reason because I see the number 47 all the time in real life. And it's not just because of Star Trek, and it's not just because I'm a Star Trek fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No.
it's weird how many times it just randomly shows up.
Yeah, when we were working together, and then he got the cell phone with that, I didn't realize the whole Star Trek connection. We're talking, what, 15, 20 years ago, Aaron?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're old.
It was 47 years ago.
That's why he shaved
Back
his
in my
head so he
day.
can't see the gray anymore.
Back in my day.
You can still see it.
We watched TV on a TV.
Actually, a kid today said I looked
We
like I
didn't-
was 40 years old because of my gray hair. I was like,
Hey,
thanks,
back
kid.
in my day, we watched TV on TV, not streaming it through Google thingy wingy.
Google thingy wingy.
Yeah, that Aaron uses.
Chromecast. Hey,
Make
Google,
sure that the ports are compatible.
Yes.
Google, if you
male
want to send me
ports
some
and
free
female
stuff,
ports to work.
I'll take it. I'll take a visor thing. What is that called?
Google Glass.
Google
Glass.
Glasses, that's a real hard one to remember. You know, the
Is
visor
this
thing.
is this episode sponsored by Google? No. It's sponsored by AmericaJoy.com.
That's true. But we are recording this on Google Hangout. Oh, snap.
Oh, 2 snaps and a twist.
And you were wondering, Aaron, why they thought you were a yuppie. Anyways,
Yuppie doesn't mean that, though.
He's a Trekkie yuppie.
Okay, so 47s. Let's get to it, boys.
Okay, so on September 8th, 1966, The Man Trap premiered on NBC.
Mhm.
So that was actually the first episode. Not the pilots, not either of the 2 pilots, but The Man Trap. So the
It's a
decision...
random episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Man Trap.
So the decision to broadcast it before any of the other shows that they completed was largely because of the straightforward action plot and wasn't too exotic. It had the advantage of a monster to thrill the viewers and fulfilled the series' Strange New Worlds concept.
Interesting.
Other than that, it sucked. No, just kidding.
Well, it was like between that and Charlie X.
Yeah, okay.
Which is kind of a episode.
Yeah, so I mean,
More cerebral, too, right?
well, have a kid that has powers and have to deal with, temper tantrums. Think of it
I know.
as, oh my god, it's Wesley.
With powers.
He gets powers with the Traveler.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it, yeah.
But anywho, it's not Wesley. But the second
Wesley.
pilot of Star Trek, Where No
Yeah.
Man Has Gone Before, was the 3rd episode of Star Trek to air on screen.
Yep.
And the original pilot never aired except parts
Yep.
of it aired in the 2-part episode, The Menagerie.
And it wasn't until VHS and DVD came about that we were able to see the actual Cage pilot.
Actually, I think the Cage was played... I'll look this up, but I think the Cage was played once or twice on NBC for some reason back in the 80s. With some kind of anniversary thing or something.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, because I remember seeing it in the late 80s. And my uncle, who was a huge original series fan, says to me, you couldn't have seen it. It was never played. I said, no, I watched it. And my father, yeah, I know I saw it.
I know I saw it. The first time I saw it, I recall, was because of
It was forced.
the TOS on DVD.
Yeah.
Mm.
When the box set came out.
Quite.
That was the first time I saw it. So, Star Trek was canceled in 1969 after 80 episodes. Star Trek...
Why?
Why? It was so
Even-
young.
And it had a writing... It was going to be canceled after its 2nd year, and then got a writing campaign. And the producers caved in and gave them
thank
another year.
God.
I know.
Wow, was there a better episode of F Troop on or something? I don't know.
I don't know what was playing in the 60s.
Hogan's Heroes?
Who wants to see that? I don't know. Not me. So Star Trek returned to the small screen again in 1973 to 1974 in an animated form. Star Trek the Animated Series totaled 22 episodes.
And let me tell you, that was an original name, too.
Well, speaking of original names,
Yep.
although there were plans to create a live-action show, Star Trek Phase 2, the project was scrapped in favor of doing a movie. In 1979, Star Trek: The Motion Picture premiered.
And I think they did that because 2 years before is when Star Wars came out.
Right.
So they were trying to ride that Star Wars craze that had built up.
Right. Which, a good call, I guess. I mean, we've talked about this movie in prior episodes, but it wasn't exactly my favorite movie.
Did you see the special edition remastered version with the new effects
I
and
haven't
the
seen
new
that
cut?
yet. I want to see that.
I think so. Is that in the collector's edition?
I believe so, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I did
It's
see it.
definitely a better version of the movie than the theatrical cut.
Right.
It's still not my favorite.
No,
Right.
but it's not one of the worst, though.
Yeah, but it's not the worst. Oh my god.
No.
It's not the worst.
5 next to it?
5 in front of it.
Yeah.
The
Let's not put 5 anywhere near it. Anyway.
So, arguably the best movie in the franchise, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, hit theaters in 1982.
That was the good year.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was born.
I thought you were going to say E.T.
No one likes E.T.
I was not conceived or thought of.
Oh, my good lord. You had to say that
Yet.
word on here?
Yeah, in 1982, I was not born yet.
You were just a twinkle in your mama's eye.
Not even.
Not even a twinkle.
Not even a twinkle. It's sad, really.
He was a port in some 7 of 9 statue.
Wouldn't he wish he was?
So, Star Trek II was the first in a 3-movie story arc that continued in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock in 1984 and Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home 1986.
It was good that they were able to crank these movies out every 2 years.
Yeah, I wish they could still do that today.
They could, but they don't get the problem with it is nowadays there's so many movies competing with it. The what do you call it? The movie studios want to go with changing things up so it doesn't get worn out.
But then again, there's 7 Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, but
that's
think
true.
about those. They're not of the caliber of what we're talking about. No offense to Fast and Furious people, but
That's true.
That is true. And 2 of these movies in this arc are my
Fave.
top movies.
Yeah.
Top
Which
Star
one?
Trek movies. 2 and 4.
Oh,
You
not
skip
3.
right over 3. I like 3.
What's that?
I like 3.
You like 3?
Yeah, I love 3 actually.
Doc Brown's in 3, which I guess that's cool.
He made a really good Klingon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. And so did John Larroquette.
And it's weird. People probably don't even think
Realize.
that he's even in Star Trek.
No,
Which
accomplished
is-
actor. He can do a lot of different things.
That's true. So in 1987,
1987.
Star Trek returned to its roots, and the adventures of a new Enterprise and crew made its syndicated premiere on the small screen. Star Trek: The Next Generation would last 7 years and have a total of 176 episodes.
And that is the year I became a Trekkie at age 5.
Nice.
Because I remember watching the premiere with my dad of Next Generation.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember watching it.
That is one of my earliest memories that I clearly remember. I remember him setting me down in front of the TV
Mm-hmm.
and watching the premiere encounter at Farpoint.
Watch this! No, just kidding.
Well, my dad was a huge Trekkie. And
Was he?
Yeah. And
My father
he
hated
went-
Trek.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was my uncle that liked it.
But yeah, my dad went to the first Star Trek convention in New York,
Yeah.
and I think it was 1977. So, yeah.
Now here's a question. Do you remember, Eric, when that premiered, the contest in Cheerios?
You mean when the
There was a
Next
contest
Generation
for the-
premiered?
Yes, it was a contest, a writing contest. You had to get box tops or something from the Cheerios boxes, and you could enter to win a walk-on cameo on the first show.
I
They never
think
said who the kid was, but
I think Wesley was.
no.
no.
No. He was in what do you call it?
Stand By Me?
Stand By Me. He was already established.
Yeah.
This was just a walk
It
on,
was a
walk off. So one of the little kids, the little kids that are when they do the sauce separation.
Yeah.
That I think one of them was one of the ones that won.
See, I think I was too young to even care about.
I entered 4 times.
Cereal campaigns.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
Well,
See,
you're
I was-
a little older than me, right, Marty?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
in 1987. I was 9 years old.
Oh, well, there you go.
See, Marty's really old
He is.
compared to us.
Yeah. But no, I was eating Cheerios at the time, but I wasn't, thinking, ooh, I could be in Star Trek.
Right. I don't even
it would've been
remember.
awesome.
I don't remember
Cheerios.
when. I don't remember Cheerios.
What are
was that?
Cheerios?
My ooze. I
remember cereals before they were all sugar. No.
I don't remember I don't remember the first time I
The
watched
Next
Star
Generation.
Trek, but it definitely wasn't
You
the
don't?
premiere. I don't think so, at least, because no one in my
You would've been
family
4
liked
years
Star
old.
Trek either. Yeah, I
What
was
were you,
like,
then 4? 3,
not
4
even.
years old?
I was like 3 and change.
Mm.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question for you guys. Sorry to get a little bit off topic, but
Yeah.
because you guys have watched Star Trek, has that affected any of your family or friends to start watching Star Trek? Like your
Yes.
passion for the Star Trek fandom
hmm
and the show,
Mhm.
has that led to anyone that you know? Have you basically converted anyone into liking Star Trek?
Yes.
I would say my fiance
Yeah.
has been converted, but I can't say if that is true or if she just watches it because I make her watch it. But I don't.
Well, the
like,
fact that you shackle her to the chair,
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't help.
Yeah.
No.
I,
Or maybe
I
it
pry
does,
her eyes
but-
open. I know family members that have watched at least one episode because I like Star Trek.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
give it the chance,
that doesn't count.
but they've definitely not. I haven't converted any Trekkies.
Okay.
In my case,
just
I
wondering.
would say, in my case, I would say probably 2 people. One would be Aaron knows Jeff.
Okay, yeah.
He didn't watch Star Trek before, like we used to hang out, so he really got into it, and he knows a lot about it,
hmm
and he does watch it. And then Adam,
Right.
he was another one that I got into it before he really knew what it was, and then converted him. But yeah, those 2.
I see. How about you, Eric?
Well, it wasn't intentional because my sister would probably have killed me. But my brother-in-law started watching all the shows, like I'd say last year.
Okay.
And I think he heard me talk about Star Trek, and it kind of reminded him, because he's got a huge wall of DVDs. He's probably seen everything.
hmm
But I guess that was the one franchise that he never watched. So I didn't force him. I didn't say, hey, maybe you should watch Star Trek if you want to be my brother-in-law or anything like that. But no, he started watching it on his own, and he was texting me all the time. He's like, oh yeah, okay, I just finished the first season of The Next Generation. Oh, and then a few days later, oh, I finished the 3rd season. And so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But my sister hates it. She walks
Really?
she walks out of the room when he's watching it.
Oh
I think it's
boy.
I think it's because she grew up with me and my dad always talking about Star Trek,
Right.
Yeah.
that it kind of she's whatever about it.
Right.
Is
That's
your sister older or younger than you?
She's younger
Okay. So that
by
does
3
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but my brother-in-law loves it.
So then the next movie, which for the most part, the events are intentionally never spoken of in any film or series, is Star Trek V.
Is that true?
Really? It's never been mentioned in anything?
The events have never been mentioned in anything.
Didn't they talk about Cybok?
No.
Something else?
No, it's never been mentioned in anything else. And that was in 1989. So that a movie that came out during the run of another series. That's the first time that's happened.
Well,
Well, that's
do
right.
you think that the maybe the box office and critical failure of this movie affected the ratings of Next Generation at all?
No,
Oh,
I don't. Because Next Generation...
No, not in 89.
Next Generation wasn't...
Because that was the fourth season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the Borg and...
Yeah, and it was established. It was established just from that two-part show. It was established.
Okay.
I think that the Next Generation, when it came out, I think they took a couple of years off from making movies because they wanted to put all their eggs in one basket and make sure the show got off.
Yeah, and visually, the show got better. Next Generation got better. So yeah, I agree.
But you have a 5-year break in between 86 and 89, 3-year instead of 2-year.
Right.
But,
and then the last movie to have the entire TOS cast was Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country in 91.
Arguably, out of all the original series movies, this one is my favorite. I just love the story, and I liked how they kind of incorporated the Shakespeare and the Klingons into it. It was just a well-done movie, like one of the best.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Always has been. But the thing is that they had to come out with something really good. I mean, I think in a way they had to. Or
to
that
apologize.
Could have jeopardized the Next Generation for 5. Yeah,
Right.
for the crap that they had in 5. Yeah, because 5, whoever wrote it should be shot.
I think William Shatner had a lot to do with this movie, actually. He might have actually wrote part of it.
Well, story by William Shatner, Harv Bennett, and David Lowery, who also did the screenplay.
Yeah.
And William Shatner directed it.
Shatner out.
Yeah.
If
So
you left Shatner out, it would have been better.
if I remember the Art of Star Trek, going through it and reading some of the things like how that creature, that stone creature, that I think ended up getting cut.
Creature.
Yeah, that ended up getting
Yeah, it
cut
did.
from the actual
There's
movie.
actually stills of it.
Yeah, there are stills, and in the Art of Star Trek, you can go through and look at some pictures, which the pictures look awesome. But
Yeah,
then
if they
the
were
actual,
able to make it.
Yeah, then the actual guy in the costume looked terrible. So, yeah, thanks for Star Trek V, William Shatner. So, because of the success of The Next Generation, another series was created. In 1993, Star Trek Deep Space Nine began its 7-year run, overlapping the last few years of The Next Generation, and spanned 173 episodes.
So only 3 episodes shy of what The Next Gen did.
Right. Well, you also have to remember, I think Deep Space Nine premiered in January of '93. So
they had a short first season. Yeah.
So that
It was
would
almost
explain.
like a test.
Oh, so it was like a mid-season replacement kind of a thing.
Yeah, I suppose. So
And remember, it was on WLVI, which was not one of the main channels.
no, it was syndicated just like Next
on
Generation.
56, yeah.
Here in Chicago, it was actually on WGN on Saturdays.
Was it?
Yeah. Which was great, because it was like, woo, Star Trek on Saturdays. Well, a year later, in 1994, TNG made the transition to the big screen with Star Trek Generations.
I was highly disappointed by that one.
I was excited for the movie. I was in grade school at the time. So I dressed in a Starfleet uniform and had a phaser with me to go see this movie during Thanksgiving break.
I did not see this movie in theaters.
I did.
I mean, my family wasn't a big, movie-going family. I mean, when we went to the movies, it was kind of rare.
Yeah.
And, this is this is before I had a job,
Right.
That kind of thing. So I didn't get to see it until a little bit later when it came out on VHS. Because I remember renting it at the store. Oh, man, remember when you could just go to the video store and rent VHSs?
Remember Blockbuster? No.
So I saw Generations when it came out on VHS. I didn't see it in the theaters.
I saw it in movie theaters.
Another TV series hit the airwaves in 1995, overlapping Deep Space Nine. This series starred Trek Voyager for the last 7 seasons and span 168 episodes. This is also the first Star Trek series that launched a television network.
Yes, UPN.
Star Trek Voyager launched to UPN, and I remember that very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize? Have you ever looked into the history of that? Paramount tried to create a network on TV, and it failed. It didn't work. But the TV show that was supposed to be on it was Phase 2.
Right.
So this is kind of like history repeats itself, but with a good Star Trek show. So
and a bad network.
Phase 2 could have been
a horrible network.
It was a bad network for Star Trek. I'll say that right now. Like Star Trek was the odd character.
Do you remember the Wayans Brothers show on that channel?
Homeboys in Outer Space.
Scotty on it.
Homeboys in Outer Space. Great show.
in Outer Space.
And it had Scotty pimping.
Yeah. Great show.
That was horrible.
Great show. Homeboys in Outer Space.
I watched it.
I unfortunately watched it too.
And it had Scotty.
Yeah, that's why I watched it.
I never watched it, actually. I never saw it. Star Trek First Contact made its big screen debut featuring the Borg in 1996 and was considered by most to be the best TNG movie franchise.
And this movie I saw in the theaters when I was a kid, and I remember I actually took my sister to it, which is probably why she hates Star Trek. But I remember watching that in the movie theaters, and I actually saw that maybe 3 or 4 times in the theaters. I went crazy for this movie. In the movie
theater?
Yeah.
Really?
When I was 14, yeah, I went nuts for this movie.
I did not see this movie.
I saw it twice.
I did not see it in the movie theater. I did see it after the DVD came out. Or wait, do they have DVDs back then?
No.
When it came out on
VHS.
On VHS, yeah. I own it on DVD
8mm.
now. 8mm.
I was so excited for this movie when my local video rental place got First Contact.
Mm-hmm.
I actually asked to have their First Contact poster, and they gave it to me. So I've got the poster, and it says, now available on VHS.
That's awesome.
And I still have my VHS copy of the movie.
Oh, I remember now. They had a little hologram thing on the cover.
It was a lenticular cover. Yep.
Yeah.
It was just like what they did with Independence Day.
Right.
Yeah. And Picard's face was half Borgified, and Data's had the skin.
Yeah. I remember
and the little Borg on the bottom, their lasers went in different directions.
Yeah, they would move.
Oh, that's
awesome.
I
gotta find that.
Yeah.
Aaron, I thought you saw that with me in the movie theater.
No, I didn't. I know we talked about it a lot before it came out, but I didn't see it. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see it in the movie theater, but I didn't. Is that everyone's favorite next gen movie?
Pretty much.
It's my favorite.
One little tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
That was also the year since I was really into Star Trek, and it was really the first time I got online and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Or maybe 95 or whatever. But my screen name, which has been with me forever, has 47 in it because of Star Trek. So, yeah. So Trekkie B47. I've had that screen name for years, so that's because of Star Trek.
Nice. Now, if let's say you didn't make a Star Trek screen name, a name based on Star Trek, would you have done Power Rangers? Said 29? I don't know.
I've never thought of that. I've seriously never thought about what another screen name of mine could be. Yeah, I've always had this one, so I've never thought of the possibility of...
It was not even a possibility.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so continuing on.
Moving on. So Star Trek...
Star Trek Insurrection in 1998 showed the darker side of Starfleet and that Data can float. Did you write this? No.
I did write that.
Star Trek returned to the small screen in 2001 with Enterprise. It was later rebranded Star Trek Enterprise, which I totally thought it should be from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And due to lackluster ratings, ended in 2005.
Do you guys remember when it premiered?
Yeah, yes. I was in high school when it premiered.
Because it premiered a week or two after
9/11.
The 9/11.
Yep.
And I remember when Broken Bow premiered, Scott Bakula came on screen as Archer, asking for people to support to the Red Cross.
Right.
I remember that really clearly.
Mhm.
I remember he might have been wearing...
I was surprised that it still premiered.
Well, they wouldn't have stopped to premiere a TV show because of it. But I think...
9/11, they could have.
Well,
Well,
they could have...
They have before.
but
Anyway.
that would mean the terrorists win.
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
didn't get Star
Oh,
Trek.
good lord.
So I
If that
remember,
Klingon doesn't escape. No.
I remember him wearing the Enterprise ball cap, I think from the actual Enterprise, like the naval ship.
Yes,
I thought that
believe
was
it.
cool.
And you know what? For the life of me, I cannot find that clip on YouTube or anything.
That's weird.
And I don't know if I got rid of my Star Trek tapes because I recorded Enterprise just like I recorded Voyager. I recorded every single episode on VHS.
Yeah.
And
So did
I
I.
don't know what happened with those tapes because I probably would have
Actually-
recorded it.
Right.
I should look through mine because I know I used to do that. And I probably still have it somewhere.
But yeah, I cannot find that 9/11 tribute that Enterprise did before Broken Bow. I can't find it. I can't find it online anywhere, so...
If any of you find it
I wanna
online, send us a link.
Yes, please. I would like to see that.
I want to know why they thought to name Enterprise at first and not Star Trek Enterprise.
I remember reading about this in an interview. It was because they kind of wanted to not keep it separate from the franchise, but do it have it be more distinctive and not just calling it Star Trek. Like they wanted to acknowledge that this was a new thing that they were trying out with the prequel series. And then adding Star Trek to the title in the third year was one of those changes to like try to get more ratings. So yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was Star Trek, throughout the whole run, but
Me
can't
too.
always get what you want, I guess. But I think when the new DVD Blu-ray set came out, did season 1 have Star Trek Enterprise on it? Do you know?
The packaging did. Yeah.
It does. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
here's-
it's always like Star Trek Enterprise now.
Right.
I've been
Okay.
searching for this one. You know how you're searching for the special thing? I've been searching for the tape that had, at the end of Voyager, they had the preview
Yes.
of Enterprise. And it
Yes.
said Star Trek Enterprise.
That's true, it did. Because I remember in high school when Voyager ended, or no, this was college when Voyager ended. Yeah, in college when Voyager ended, I actually had a Voyager finale viewing party.
Yeah.
And for one of my graphic design projects in college, I actually created a poster for the Endgame episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I've got that somewhere. I'm gonna have to take a picture of that. That was one of my
Yeah.
first Photoshop manipulations, and it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
But yeah, when after Voyager ended, it was that little preview clip, and it had Picard, Kirk, Janeway. And I remember the first version of it, the one that premiered after Voyager, they left out Sisko's name, and a lot of fans were mad about that. So when they redid the trailer, they actually included Sisko in the second version.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they would, because the series was already over. It had, obviously was already over. So he was already a captain.
Yeah.
Space Nine? Long over.
Yes, for some reason, the promo department didn't include Sisko.
That's weird. Very weird. But anywho, yeah, so did you guys liked Enterprise, right?
Oh yeah, I loved Enterprise.
Yeah.
I wish they'd bring it back.
Me too.
Hopefully they will. Watch Enterprise on Netflix, everybody.
Please.
So, the last time we see the TNG crew assembled is in 2002 with the release of Star Trek Nemesis. So I actually did see this one in the theater. I think I saw it more than once in the theater, actually. Not my favorite movie, but it was a decent movie.
Take a taxi cab to it?
No, I took the T.
Okay.
The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, for those outside of Massachusetts.
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah.
We just call it the T.
Yeah, so it was a train and a bus, probably, I took.
But I thought Nemesis was, it was alright.
Mets.
I remember seeing in the theater and kind of cursing that Data died.
Yeah. Spoiler, guys. Data dies.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen the movie in 12 years,
Yeah.
get a clue.
Yeah, we've said this before. So many high hopes. We had Spiner, we had Logan writing this, and someone dropped the ball.
I blame the director.
There was so much. There was so
I-
much more that I thought they could have done with that.
I thought for the last TNG movie, they should have, had the director that directed most of them, which was Jonathan Frakes.
Right.
I mean, he directed First Contact, which was, the best one of the series.
Yeah, well, I think
Why
they thought.
did they do that?
I think they thought if they had like a well-established director that they could have more clout with the movie.
What, 3 movies isn't well established? I mean,
Well, apparently not.
no.
They wanted this to be a big movie, and then they kind of realized, oh, this is not going to be a big movie. That's why I think the tagline is "A generation's final journey begins." Kind of sealing the fate of the next generation movies.
I thought if Nemesis was successful, they could have probably done another one. But I think at the time, the franchise was on a decline. Like, people were getting burnt out on Star Trek.
Very saturated. We had, several series overlapping each other, along with movies. So there was a lot going on.
It's very funny that now we have the exact opposite. Other than the movies, the new movies,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't had any TV series for how long now?
And people are craving it. For 8 years, we haven't had a TV
8
series.
years.
It feels longer. It feels a lot longer.
It feels like a really long time. Yeah.
Daddy, it burns.
So hopefully we'll see something in the future after the end of the current movie reboots.
No, I want something for the 50th anniversary in 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Damn it.
We'll probably get a movie, but I don't know about a TV show.
No, screw the movie. I want a TV show.
Hopefully someday.
Or Enterprise.
Or
Give me more
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Actually-
That would be awesome if they did that at the 50th anniversary. Enterprise.
There is this guy on YouTube that
There's a lot of guys.
recreates scenes from Star Trek in
Yeah.
3D,
Yep.
and he does an awesome job, fabulous job. One of the things that he did was the SS Valiant that left the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's referenced to in Where No Man Has Gone Before,
Yep.
and they find that marker.
Yes.
So he makes in 3D that whole scene.
Oh, wow.
Of the ship
Really?
leaving the galactic barrier. Then he shows like computer readouts on the inside. He doesn't do people, but he shows and he tells a whole story using the ships and computer readouts.
If it was empty, like almost empty.
Well, not almost empty, but
Just the
Yeah.
readouts.
yeah, just the screen readouts.
Screenshots. Okay.
So that you kind of know what's going on. He tells a whole story, and it's really awesome. And
Where can we
he's
find that?
Yeah.
okay. Let me look it up really quick.
'Cause I would love to see that. There are a lot of talented Star Trek 3D modelers out there.
Yes, there are.
I mean, they've done some great stuff that has been featured in the Ships of the Line calendars.
Yep.
Yep.
And,
I love those calendars.
oh my god, that's like my favorite calendar ever.
You look forward to it at like
Forever.
Christmas and
I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Star Trek Ships of the Line, oh my god.
Yeah, you give us a choice between the Maxim Hot Girls and the Star Trek, and you go right for the Star Trek, right?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so the channel of this is Video Space FX, and he has done things like the Battle of Narendra 3, the Battle
Oh,
of
really?
Maxia.
You said
And-
Video Space FX?
Yes, Video Space FX. So he has quite a, or this person has quite a few. Yeah, Death of the Valiant, the fate of Earth's first starship.
Nice.
Watch that one. That's really done very well. It's about 10 minutes long. When you guys get a chance, watch that.
They even did a Wolf 359 battle.
Yeah.
Really? See, that one I like. Because we never saw it.
Right. So the person, I think, takes models that other people have made, and then, does all the rendering, the, movements of the ships and things like that.
Well, he just earned another subscriber.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
He has a lot of subscribers. It's 3,500. But yeah, so everyone out there, if you want to kill some time on YouTube, Video Space FX.
Well, I know what I'm doing with the rest of my evening after this.
See you guys, I'm done.
And good night.
So, Star Trek was rebooted for a new audience and demographic in 2009, bringing back the classic TOS crew with an updated twist in a feature film.
And I was excited. I was cautiously optimistic.
I was really, really, really excited about this movie when it came out.
I was skeptical because, how can you reboot Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how they would do it. And I think a lot of fans were like, this is crazy. Why are they doing this? It's going to be like Star Trek Starfleet Academy or something.
Right.
People were really worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously has its issues, but, I can overlook those.
I think while we may not like parts of the movie and we have our own nitpicks and stuff,
Yeah.
we can't deny that this has opened up Star Trek for a lot of non-Trekkies.
No, definitely.
This is like the new gateway into the franchise. And I don't have a problem with that. If we get more Star Trek fans, that's awesome.
Do you think that there should be a different classification between old school Trekkies, Trekkers, and this new school of Star Trek fans?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No?
No.
They should all be...
I don't want the fandom to be split
Mhm.
over something like this. That's
The whole point of
that happens
Yeah.
with other fans or fandoms.
the
And
whole point of Star Trek was to be all encompassable,
all inclusive.
inclusive. That's what I meant. Yeah, but that's what the whole reason was.
So I think old Star Trek fans should accept new Star Trek fans, take them under their wing, say, "Oh, you like the movies? Well, why don't you watch this?
Yeah.
See how you like this movie." So,
Or, hey, why don't you watch The Best of Both Worlds, Star Trek The Next Generation? Give that a shot. And
or listen to the Starfleet Escape Podcast.
Exactly.
Plug.
Indeed. So with the success of Star Trek in 2009, Star Trek Into Darkness premiered in 2013 on the big screen, and at least one more film is planned in this rebooted franchise.
Really, I missed it. No, just-
And I hope it doesn't take 4 years
Yeah.
to do that, because then that would be the 51 anniversary.
Yeah, I hope someone at Paramount
math.
is thinking, like, oh man, 50 years, we gotta do something.
Yep, I hope that means a new series, because now CBS really has control of the franchise. So
Mhm.
why don't we have a Star Trek series on CBS? Let's do it.
Right?
That'd be epic.
It would be. It's a major network.
I would watch the hell out of that.
I think most people would.
How about they make a series about? How about they make a series about the Starfleet Escape Pod?
A fleet of escape pods.
True that.
Yes, I'd
And we
love
could
it.
be
Star
sponsored
Trek
by
Escape
Taco Bell.
Oh no!
Taco. Oh no. Oh,
That bean. That one bean.
That one being.
in American Joy Printing.
America Joy Print Shop.
Yeah, there's like the whole side of the escape pod has like cut vinyl graphics on it.
Yeah, it looks like one of those NASCARs.
Taco Bell, America Joy, the Fern,
Yes.
Socially Awkward.
Actually,
Yes.
Aaron, can you do that on the 3D rendering?
Yeah.
I think you just found your next joke picture.
I'll come up with things that are not exactly copyrighted and slap them on.
Okay.
Like, not Taco Bell, but Bell Taco.
Gee, I wonder what you mean.
Bell Taco.
Bell Taco. So now, since we have the 47 years history that we've kind of talked about Star Trek, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, the recurrence of the number 47 in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to take this one?
Oh, yeah. Go at it.
Okay. So the number 47 makes frequent recurrences in dialogue, computer screens. It's everywhere. If you look at any episode of Star Trek after Next Generation Season 4, you're going to see a mention of 47. So the origin of the significance of 47 can be traced to Next Generation and Voyager writer Joe Menosky, who attended the Pomona College in California. There's actually a club at Pomona called the 47 Society, which claims that there exists a mathematical proof that all numbers are equal to 47, and that the number 47 occurs with greater frequency in nature than other numbers. And the reverse, 74, also makes frequent reappearances. So Joe Menosky first started including 47 references in his scripts in the fourth season of Next Generation, and the in-joke quickly caught on with the rest of the staff. Since then, references to 47 have been included in many episodes and movies of all the modern series. According to Ronald Moore, the number 47 references in later seasons of Deep Space Nine declined as production staff tired of the joke. And when asked about the significance of the number, Rick Berman once joked, 47 is 42, corrected for inflation.
I love that.
I love that line, too. Of course, 47 is 42, corrected for inflation. And he's referring to 42, which is the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, according to Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay.
You know what's funny? 47 also made an appearance in the first season as Code 47, Captain's Eyes Only protocol.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So 47, even before him, was prominent in the series, which is kind of funny.
Exactly. So it just shows up.
Yeah. So this 47 Society is absolutely correct.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to maybe, when I watch the original series, I'm going to have to look out for 47, because I believe there's a few instances where it shows up in there, like maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm sure it must, right?
It has to.
Yeah.
And the joke continues in the Star Trek reboot from J.J. Abrams, because there are frequent 47s to be found in the alternate reality. And Star Trek Online, which none of us have played yet, the major hub that Federation players go to is the Earth space dock called Club 47. So that's kind of like their little nod to 47s. So what do you guys think about 47? Did you guys notice it when you were watching Star Trek originally?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, definitely from Conspiracy is one of my favorite episodes of The Next Generation, at least the first season. It's probably my favorite of the first season.
It's a great episode.
And, like, Code 47 kind of stuck with me a lot. I think the Playmates toy with Captain Picard had a captain's log, and on it, it folded into, I think, in 4s or whatever. So the front panel of it said Captain's Log, Code 47, Captain's Eyes Only.
Nice.
Without the shield on it. So I knew of 47. I can't say I really noticed it too often in the series.
There's actually a few compilations on YouTube that show 47 in Voyager and Next Generation. So I thought it was hilarious, because when you see these compilations, you're like, oh my god, it was everywhere.
Right. But it can't be as frequent as it appears.
It actually kind of is, because they aren't counting all the times it shows up in graphic displays.
Oh, well.
And I think even in Voyager, it was noticeable. It was at least once an episode, or at least every other episode, there was a 47 mention. There was just a lot of 47 in Voyager. And that's why I like it so much.
And when did your screen name, when did you get that? Did you say 95?
95. Or, God, wait a minute. Yeah, 95, because I remember Hotmail, like, a year ago. They're like, wow, you've had this email for, like, 15 years. So, yeah, I've had this one for a while. So even before, like, I mean, I knew it was 47 in Star Trek, since Voyager started. And, yeah, it's just, that's how I became fascinated with 47.
So, Marty, have you noticed any stories with 47 for you, or?
Well, like I said earlier, with our noticing it over the years, but in Star Trek, no, I haven't noticed it, honestly, other than the captain's, the code, what is that, the code 47?
Right, yep.
But see,
that's the only time I noticed it there.
Now that you know about it, you're going to see it everywhere in Star Trek.
Yep. I gotta watch that YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are quite a few. I know I posted one on Twitter. Eric did as well, I believe, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and I know there was definitely more than one video that had 47s in it. I took the one I think that mainly had TNG references in it.
It's called Star Trek: The Next Generation: The 47 Conspiracy.
There we go.
And then the next most popular one is Star Trek Voyager and the number 47 featurette.
Okay. And that's the one you posted, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And here's another interesting fact. 47 is the number of days between the cancellation of the original Star Trek and the launch of Apollo 11, the first moon landing.
Oh my goodness.
So, conspiracy or not, there it is.
Yeah, true that. So, I think that's cool. It'll be interesting to see if there's any other patterns that frequent Star Trek besides 47. Maybe not necessarily a number, but a name or something that,
Symbol.
A symbol that, besides the, Star Trek communicator symbol, something else.
My God, it's everywhere.
Yeah. That, permeates through all the series.
There might be, especially with people who have worked on the crew, like from the Next Generation onwards, especially the graphic guys like Mike Okuda, that kind of thing with the Okudograms. I know they've thrown like in-jokes in the graphics before.
Right.
But I don't know if there's a consistent element throughout.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All I can think of is the TNG master display that they had in engineering, where they put like I think a gerbil on a wheel.
They had a rubber duck.
Yeah.
They had a biplane in the hangar bay.
Drawings.
Yeah. And they've done other like in jokes, like they would. Say funny lines in the like readout displays because with the resolution of TV, they thought no one would ever see it. So when they started remastering the Blu-ray, they had to actually replace a lot of that text and redo the displays so it would have more serious information related to the topic on hand.
Right, because it's not only
saying there once was a man from Nantucket. No.
Because it wasn't only on the computer displays, it's also on like door panels and other panels along the ship, where they will put these little in-jokes in the smaller text, where like you said, oh, no one's ever going to be able to read this.
Yeah, I think one of the famous ones was a quote from Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's quite a few others. So
that's actually the dedication plaque of one of the ships has that.
Wherever you go, there you are.
There you are. Yeah. I forget which ship offhand now, but it has that as the dedication.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go and open up our hailing frequencies.
Woo!
So this week's question in the Subspace channels, what is your favorite Star Trek moment from the last 47 years? So from Twitter, we have at
Shaw Davis.
Shaw Davis 08 says Tribbles. My kind of guy.
Yeah, Aaron agrees.
I had a funny exchange with him about that when he posted that. Next we have at Logan677, who says, when the crew on TNG went back to the 20s on the holodeck, Gangster Picard rules.
Mm-hmm.
He does rule.
Yeah, true that. Next.
At Fazamedi. For me, it's Picard's speech to Wesley in The First Duty. Chills every time.
Which I agree. Do you guys remember that?
I do. It's a moving speech.
Yeah. Next, from Facebook, we have Ashley Wong, who says, when the Borg Queen was ripping off her limbs in the last episode of Voyager, I think.
And she would be right.
Next we have Mike Mikiewicz.
Michael Megowitz.
Yep.
Nice.
Who says, Scotty coming back for the Next Generation episode.
Which is Relics.
Relics, which was a very good episode. I like that episode.
Mm-hmm.
And next we have a good friend of the show, Eric Dewey, who says, there are so many moments that were just fantastic. If I had to pick just one, it would be the entirety of the episode Measure of a Man from TNG. Start to finish, one of the best episodes ever. In fact, I think that should be the next episode Aaron and I give the supplemental treatment to.
I would have to agree, and if you're doing that, I would do the Blu-ray updated version with the restored scenes that was in the theaters, because seeing that episode redone and recut in the theaters, I have to agree with Eric. That is one of the best Star Trek episodes. It's easily in my top 5 of all-time Star Trek shows.
Of all time.
Or episodes. Of all-time Star Trek episodes, Measure of a Man, that extended cut version, yeah, it's right on the top.
See, I need to see that. I haven't seen the... I've seen the HD version of it on Hulu, but it doesn't have the extended scene, or the extended cut.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You might have to pick up that DVD or Blu-ray.
I might. It's hard.
It's expensive, I know.
It's expensive, and I already have all 7 seasons on DVD. So,
yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to justify, the purchase. But we'll see. Maybe if someone else buys it and lets me borrow it, Marty, maybe that can happen. Maybe
or a fan of the show.
Or a fan of the show.
We'd give you a big shout out.
Yeah, if you buy me a Blu-ray.
Hey, just remember...
Or let you borrow a copy.
Or let me borrow it.
Aaron, just remember who bought you your first DVD.
You did, Marty. Marty bought me the first DVD.
The player, actually.
And first DVD player and DVD. I believe the DVD was The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Nice.
But yes, thank you, Marty.
Unexpected again. No, just kidding. I'm buying a house. It's too expensive.
At Google Plus, Jay Moran says, seeing Trek in the Park in Portland. Mirror, Mirror. The one with the evil Spock with a goatee. So that would be cool, seeing Star Trek. Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah. Maybe we can push the city somewhere to do it. We'll come out and meet you, Eric, or you can come out and meet us.
Yeah.
We'll come out and meet you, and we'll put on our production of Shakespeare in the Park. Or
Star Trek in the Park.
Star Trek in the Park.
Bill Smith says, going through and introducing all 7 seasons of Star Trek Next Generation on Netflix with my teenage sons.
Which is awesome. I wish we got more answers like that, because I made the question a little open to be not only moments from the series, but moments from...
Like your favorite fan moment.
Yeah, your favorite experience of Star Trek with other people, or with the series. Yeah. So I mean, I love that answer, Bill. That's a great answer.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Orff says, There are 4 lights!
I hate that.
I thought you loved that, Marty. You say that
I do,
all
but
the time.
I hate it.
All the time.
I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Uh,
There are 4 lights!
So, next via email. So our good friend Clive Borrell, who says May 25th, 1977. For me, that would be the most significant moment in Star Trek history, as it was the premiere of Star Wars and changed the whole direction of the franchise. Where there would have been Phase 2, we got the motion picture, and we veered into the movies until 1987. Imagine the difference in the Trek universe had we had Phase 2'd for 5 years. Would we have had TNG, etc., or any of the movies? That new sci-fantasy series in Star Wars altered the course of Trek's evolution forever, and it wasn't even a part of the same universe.
No, it was one in a galaxy far, far away.
Now, if you want to know my favorite moment from the last 47 years, it's the final minutes of DS9's Call to Arms. This was the point where the powers that be effectively stuck the bird to fans and showed they could do anything with Star Trek, even abandon the eponymous craft of the series and leave a cliffhanger that wouldn't be fully resolved for another 6 episodes. Voyager attempted this in basics but didn't carry it off as successfully. It was a defining game changer that proved DS9 had come of age and wasn't trying to be TNG or TOS, which had played safe and stayed with the Enterprise. But the point I adored, and is my ultimate favorite, is the scene where Dukat realizes that Siska will be back as he left his baseball, a baseball which Dukat gets very attached to over the course of the retaking story arc. It was a genius moment that had even more impact a year later when he took the same item back to Earth in Tears of the Prophets. Just pure genius. And you'd be upset if I just said Best of Both Worlds cliffhanger or something predictable.
I have to agree with Clive, both of his points. I think without Star Wars, we would have a very different Star Trek production history.
Yeah, it would only really be in the TV series, I think.
And as much as, you know, some Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans kind of butt heads, I think they've both influenced each other over the years. And now even more so, where we have a director that's now working on both franchises.
Yeah, it's coming back together again.
To me, that's insane. And it kind of shows that, yeah, without Star Wars, maybe we wouldn't have had the same successful franchise for Star Trek that we do now.
Right.
And then with Deep Space Nine, I couldn't agree more. That was such a great moment in the series.
Right. That whole time period with DS9 was superb.
I love the Deep Space Nine chronology.
They had such epic story arcs in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and
what was it? The whole 6th season was just the war.
Yeah, and the final, 7 or 8 episodes of the 7th season, the finale, that was just one big epic multi-parter.
Yeah.
That Star Trek has never seen before. And, yeah, Deep Space Nine, if you missed one episode, you were screwed, basically.
Yep. I did videotape them all for that reason.
Yeah, I couldn't miss it.
You would be a fool, too.
You would be a fool not to watch Star Trek.
That's true.
What's wrong with you?
Watch it. So, do either of you have a favorite moment from Star Trek? And it doesn't have to be a moment that happened in Star Trek, but it could be just, somehow related to Star Trek.
I think my favorite fan moment for Star Trek was going to a Star Trek convention with my dad in 2001, and it was awesome. We got to meet Robert Picardo, we got to go to the dealer's room, we got to sit through panels, and that was my first Star Trek convention. And it was great. It's something that I'm never going to forget. So that's one of my best fan moments with Star Trek.
How about you, Marty?
Well, one of my favorite memories is just like yours, Eric. My father, who didn't like Star Trek, went with me because obviously I couldn't drive yet in 1991 and I couldn't, go by myself.
Mm-hmm.
He took me to Star Trek 6 on the night it premiered, which was on I think it was a Thursday night. And
Wow.
my father never did that. It meant a lot to me, so it did to him. And then he enjoyed the actual movie because that was one of those movies that could go across. Even if you weren't a Trek fan, you could understand the storyline because it was really human. It was very, it crossed a lot of borders, and he actually enjoyed it. And I think that's one of my favorite moments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what about you, Aaron?
So I have nothing as touching as you guys there, but
Well, we're big saps. That's why.
I think seeing the advanced screening of Star Trek 2009 a couple months before it came out. I saw it with a coworker.
Yeah, fine. Don't ask me.
Well, I didn't get the tickets to go see it. But seeing that just to, because Star Trek had been off the air for a while.
Yeah.
And it was, just very exciting to finally see and being able to be one of the first people to see it before, the mass audience.
Yeah.
For some reason, that was, kind of special to me.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. Do you think the first one, the 09 one, was really as anticipated as, say, Into Darkness? I don't think it was. I think it actually became bigger than what they thought it would be.
Well, I mean, they put a lot behind that.
I know that, but I didn't even think it would become as big as it was. But anyways, I guess off topic. It's kind of shocking to me. How the hell did you get the tickets 3 months before?
It was through MIT.
Oh, okay.
They had a...
I did like 2009 Star Trek because that was the first movie I saw 3 weeks in advance. Because
Really?
I won the advanced screening, and to see an advanced screening of Star Trek is whoa, holy crap!
Yeah.
And I also won a bag,
Goodies bag.
No, what is it? A messenger bag it was Intel that sponsored.
Yeah.
They were giving away these bags, and so 2009 Star Trek, it was holy crap, the franchise is coming back, and I couldn't have been more excited for it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Good time to be a Star Trek fan.
It is.
Hopefully it'll be even better in the next few years.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
It would give us some more stuff to talk about, which would be awesome to have a new. Oh man, the good thing about having a new series would be us just sitting here and picking it apart, not in a bad way.
Every couple of weeks.
Yeah, we would be this would basically become the new Star Trek show review podcast.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
Yeah.
We go on hiatus with these type of topics for a while, and
or we could tie how the episode ties in with continuity. I mean, we'd go nuts.
Yeah.
We would analyze everything.
well, let's hope it happens.
I hope so, yeah.
We need it to happen.
Well,
for the greater good.
We're
The
not
needs of the
gonna-
many.
I need it.
Yes.
It's like heroin. No, just kidding.
So yeah. Do you know what puts my quantum state into flux?
Quantum, I don't know. Something fluxing about 3-4 feet high? I don't know.
So, it's funny that we kind of veered onto the subject, because this week my quantum state of flux is, at its core, Star Trek is a TV show. To tell the types of stories and develop the characters, the franchise needs a television presence. The advantage the JJ movies have is that the characters in the film are, for the most part, based on established characters. After an 8-year hiatus from the small screen, I think Star Trek needs to return to its roots.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. with that. But I don't know what has your quantum state in a flux with this.
The fact that there's no Star
No
Trek
Star Trek
series on air right now.
Well,
I'm
get
so
it.
fluxed about that. I'm so
And
quantum fluxed.
need neutron cream to fix that.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Aaron,
Well, do you-
are we telling something about ourselves?
No, that was kind of like an in-joke created by Simon Pegg for Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yep.
When they were in that like laser room, they were like, "Oh man, you need this neutron cream to and you need to like jump around to keep yourself okay from the neutrons."
Oh, good.
So he would gag people with this.
Yeah.
The props department then created a little
Neutron
jar
cream.
of neutron cream. They had Khan there.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, they had him sign a waiver. They said, "Oh, you need to sign this waiver, because of the neutrons in the room." So he was okay, and like you're gonna need this neutron cream. I was like, okay. So he signs the waiver,
Yeah.
and you know how you sign things and don't read it?
Mhm.
Okay. So they go, "Oh, we need you to read it, and we need to film it, just to have it on record." He's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, whatever." So then he reads it, and he reads something to the effect that that neutron cream is made up and not real, and you've basically been pranked.
Mhm.
And then he looks up and goes, "Oh man," something to that effect.
Yeah.
It's
It was
quite
funny.
funny. Quite funny.
Now, what room was it that he thought you had to wear this stuff in?
The engineering set.
Oh, the engineer said. Okay.
And it was funny that they got the prop department to actually make this little cream, and they had people, with daubs of it on their
Yeah.
faces.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny.
Cool.
So,
Doesn't
that's it
take
for this
much to
week.
get you in the flux.
well, this has been fluxing for 8 years now
Yeah.
with no series.
That's a lot
Wow,
of
you're
fluxing.
You're really fluxed.
Yeah, that's a lot
percolating.
of fluxing.
Exactly. So maybe I do need that statue.
Oh my god.
I'm scared.
I'm just frightened.
So, thank you everyone for listening. I'm Aaron,
I'm Marty.
And I'm Eric.
and we'll see you next time. Keep
See
on
ya.
trekking.
It's trekking time.
Trickosaurus.
Rex.
No.
No?
Trekosaurus?
Trekosaurus Rex?
Saurus Rex.
Like pterodactyl. You have been listening to the Starfleet Escape Podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where you can catch a new episode every other Monday. You can find us on the web at sfescapepod.com. Follow us on Twitter at sfescapepod. Like us on facebook.com/sfescapepod. And add us to your circle on Google Plus by going to google.sfescapepod.com.
This has been a proud production of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows on foureyedradio.com. Beam me up, Scotty.